Today on Rappler. Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin and Budget Secretary Amenah Pangandaman resign. International human rights lawyer Amal Clooney urges the Philippines to decriminalize libel. 2022 Nobel Peace Prize laureate Oleksandra Matviichuk praises ordinary Ukrainians for their courage in the face of Russia's invasion. Senator Risa Hontiveros calls on Filipinos to remain strong, committed, and united in the fight against corruption. And the Iglesia ni Cristo holds a 3-day rally at the Quirino Grandstand in Manila. Malacanang announces in a last-minute press conference, Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin and Budget Secretary Amenah Pangandaman resigned. Palace Press Officer Undersecretary Claire Castro says President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. accepted the resignation of the two officials.
Both officials respectfully offered and tendered their resignations out of delicadeza, after their departments were mentioned in allegations related to the flood control anomaly currently under investigation, and in recognition of the responsibility to allow the administration to address the matter appropriately.
Finally, calls on the Philippine government to decriminalize libel. This as she spoke at Rappler's Social Good Summit on Sunday, November 16.
I had productive discussions with officials and I expressed my support for the proposal to decriminalize libel in line with international law and also in line with the warning of the Philippines Supreme Court that civil sanctions, the Philippines' own Supreme Court has said that civil sanctions for defamation are more consistent with the Philippines' democratic values, and that imprisonment, the constitutionality of imprisonment and criminalization is, quote, doubtful.
She was referring to a 2021 Supreme Court decision that acquitted broadcaster and now Senator Raffy Tulfo of libel, which Philippine justices said was to protect a vigilant press. Clooney also announces that she will soon be launching a project in which Filipino journalists and women can have easier access to legal aid.
I have hope because more than 1 in 3 Filipinos today is under 25, and young people have shown they are unafraid to denounce what is wrong. Because Maria and her colleagues continue to report the truth and hold the line for all journalists despite the threats.
The Philippines is one of the remaining countries in the world which still treats libel as a crime punishable with jail time. 2022 Nobel Peace Prize laureate and Ukrainian human rights lawyer Oleksandra Matviichuk says ordinary Ukrainians have shown extraordinary courage and solidarity. This as they emerged as key actors amid the devastation caused by Russia's invasion. In her speech during Rappler's Social Good Summit, Matviichuk highlights the power of ordinary people in the face of such destruction.
We get used to thinking through the categories of states and interstates organization, but ordinary people have a much greater impact than they can even imagine.
She also notes that her team witnessed how international organizations evacuated when Russia launched its invasion in February 2022. It was the ordinary citizens who helped people survive artillery fire, evacuate from destroyed cities, and deliver humanitarian aid.
I know from my own experience, when you can't rely on the legal instruments, when you can't rely on the UN system of peace and security, you can still rely on people.
Matviichuk received the Nobel Peace Prize in 2022. She stresses the importance of human dignity in the face of brutal aggression, citing the case of Ukrainian scientist Ihor Kozlovsky.
He spent 700 days in Russian captivity. He was abducted, illegally detained, kept in unhuman conditions. He was tortured so severely that he had to learn how to walk again. All his experience, it's not a reason for him to treat himself as victim, because the basis of our existence is dignity, not victimhood.
Never tolerate corruption and inequality. Confront corruption wherever we see it, because we cannot allow our government to go on like this.
Senator Risa Hontiveros urges Filipinos to stay strong, committed, and united in the fight against corruption during her address at the Social Good Summit 2025. Hontiveros calls on the public to be relentless in demanding better from their leaders and to immerse themselves and stand with society's most marginalized.
The Philippines doesn't belong to any political dynasty. It does not belong to warlords, nor to oligarchs, nor to the loudest trolls. This country is ours.
Hontiveros notes how corruption has become a pervasive and long-standing problem in the Philippines at the expense of ordinary Filipinos. She cites a recent social weather station survey which found that half of Filipino families consider themselves poor, while another survey in June found that more than 16% experienced involuntary hunger.
These numbers are revealing an undeniable truth. Our politics is so broken that it has actually become comfortable with inequality. We all have a duty to be informed, to speak out, and to help, yes, to help those in need.
Vice President Sara Duterte in a Facebook post says public anger is justified following widespread corruption in the government.
Kaisa ako ng milyong-milyong Pilipinong nadismaya at nandidiri sa pamahalaang lulong sa insekuridad at walang kabusugang kasakiman. Ang karapatan nating magsalita at magpahayag ang sandigan ng demokrasya.
This as the Iglesia ni Cristo holds a 3-day rally for justice and peace from November 16 to 18 at the Quirino Grandstand in Manila. INC Minister of the Gospel Bienvenido Santiago Jr. on Sunday delivered a speech rejecting calls for extralegal means in addressing the flood corruption scandal under the Marcos Jr. administration. Senator Rodante Marcoleta also spoke at the event where he revived his push for contractors Curly and Sara Diskaya to become state witnesses. The Manila Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office estimated the crowd on the first day peaked at around 650,000 attendees. And that's today's wrap. I'm JC Gotinga. Thank you for watching. Click the link below for the full story. For more updates, download the Rappler app.